them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. This week in general, since last Friday, has been a lot of news. We got the Tokyo Game Show. We had the State of Play that was announced. We had the Nintendo Direct, and we had plenty of stuff coming out of the Tokyo Game Show. Plenty of things being announced alongside of it. So we got a lot to talk about, and we're trying to get through it all. So I want to be quick about everything, but if we don't, we don't. I ain't gonna make no promises. But we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we start, as usual, Jalen, Josh, whichever one of you guys want to go first, let the people know how you're doing, where you at in life, what you've been playing, give them the updates.
Yeah, this week's been pretty good for me. Just doing a lot of stuff with the family, getting ready for our new addition to the family. Still got a couple more weeks, but just getting ready, cleaning the house, shopping. Otherwise, just I haven't played anything new. Just finished up the last season of Fortnite, so I can get all caught up. Now that the new season has started. And in general, I'm doing pretty good. It's still hot out here, but I always got my air conditioning on.
Yeah, I mean, it's Japan, so I expect that. And what about you, Jalen? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Shoot, everything been smooth my way. I just recently moved back to Chicago, started my first week of my big boy job.
Big boy
Almost, you know
job.
what I'm saying?
Put them big boy pants on for this one.
I wanted to say something different, but yeah, my big boy job. So everything been smooth. I ain't really been playing nothing new. I got a couple things. I ain't gonna say I'm super excited for it, but I am kind of looking forward to, you know what I'm saying, now that I'm out of school. I got my life back, kind of feel like. But as far as like, still been going crazy on Multiverse. Had a little quit in 15 seconds. We took the team out, boy. You feel me? And then they seen the clip, man. They know what that clip was about, bro. Straight cook types, and that, and I started playing. Well, after I got settled in and stuff like that, I was playing, what's that game called? Fallen Jedi. So,
okay.
Been enjoying that and stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, though. I'm looking forward to going back and play it. I was like, man, I need to go play a game I ain't played before instead of going back to go play Final Fantasy 13 again, because I almost cut that mug back on. But I do want to try out Pokemon Radical Red too, though. It's like a little fire red mod. I kind of want to play that. It says like a challenge and stuff like that, so I kind of want to check that out. So I'm gonna check that out soon when my Steam Deck get here.
You got a Steam Deck?
Nah, just
you said what?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I put a pre-order on it though. So.
Oh, you did put a pre on it?
Yeah, I was like, I need one of the little emulator boys. My PSP days can need to come back. Maybe come back, and that's just fine.
Yeah, you can't play that multiverses on the go, but that is a solid device. If you truly want one, that would be the one I recommend anyway, because it's really good.
Yeah, Josh got 3 of them, so might as well get one.
He got bandos.
Even though he got
bandos, man. He got 3 of them. Good. He hold up to his face, let him know how it is out there. One, he just set that one down and put the other one on top. He just used that as a stand. That's how many he got. But
the first one is for upstairs, the second one for downstairs.
Hey, that boy got 2 switches though, so you can't even think about what he got. His switches ain't even good.
One of them for his left hand, one of his right hand. He don't use it on. He said, "No, that's my left hand one. Give me the right hand. I need that one." Hey, that's
the one he used when he's trying to see color. I want to see color today. I don't see race. I see color.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I ain't been doing much. I got back into I watched Cyberpunk's Edge Runner, and I wanted to go do things in that game. I don't want to spoil nothing for nobody, but it's a really good show. So just go watch it. And I went back to playing Cyberpunk. I'm like, put like 15 hours in since last time, and I just went back to I started a new character, and just been playing it again. I'm really enjoying it still. It's still a fun game. Now that I've seen the storyline though, I'm not as invested. I don't like that. I wish I could play it with new eyes, with my fresh eyes versus you know the ones that I've already seen everything. So the dialogue ain't hitting like it's supposed to, and I feel like now the conversations are just dragged out a little longer. But when I first played it, I didn't feel that way. But now that I play it again, I'm like, skip ahead, bro. I already heard this. So now I'm doing that. And I don't know if I'm like just, already played it or if the dialogue isn't strong enough the second time around. I don't want to say that, but I still enjoy the game a lot. Still enjoying, doing everything in it, doing most of the side missions still. So I'm still enjoying it. But that's what I've been playing. I've been playing Cyberpunk, chilling with the kids, doing stuff, with them and hanging out. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. Cyberpunk, Edge Runner. Definitely recommend. 9 out of 10 show. Definitely. I enjoyed it a lot. But yeah, moving straight into it because we got to. It's been already 6 minutes. We got to get through a whole bunch of stuff. I want to start with the Nintendo Direct simply because, I'm gonna start with this Nintendo Direct because there was 2 shows that came out: State of the Play, Nintendo Direct. I like the Nintendo Direct. Slightly less than the State of Play. So I mean, they both weren't the greatest. To be honest, but there was some stuff that came out in both of them, and I'm just a little bit less excited for Zelda. And it's just kind of blasphemy in my opinion. I feel like I should be more excited for Zelda than I am for God of War, but it's just, it's God of War. But I want to talk about this Nintendo Direct and kind of get your opinion, if you've seen it, Josh and Jalen, on what you guys kind of had a highlight for outside of Zelda. But because we're gonna just talk about that in general. But yeah, Nintendo Direct. It started off, started off like it always starts off, very slow, not much there, and then it kind of finished with a bang. We saw the name, got the reveal for everything. It's September. So I don't really know how to feel. It's not like it's June or ish. They kind of put these directs out a lot. These are like their new way of providing information. This to be along the sides of the Tokyo Game Show, I was expecting a little bit more announcements, a little bit more interesting things. I just didn't see that. I just saw a lot of updates about stuff we already knew about. How did you feel about the Nintendo Direct, Josh or Jalen? How do you guys feel about like what they showed? I mean, I wasn't all that interested until the very end. So that's how.
Yeah, like you said, this is like just a random Nintendo Direct. I didn't expect anything from it. And in my opinion, Nintendo like Direct leaks are always wrong. Like I saw some people say some stuff that was going to come out, and all of it was wrong. Anyways. I wasn't really looking for nothing, and honestly, some of the games that they are showing, like that come out soon, I'm not planning on getting. Like, I'm not gonna get Pokemon probably. Kirby games are fine. I just don't really play them, but they announced like a new Kirby game. Bayonetta, I am gonna get, but I feel like that's I don't need to see any trailers of it because it's just all about
at this point.
Plays. Yeah. Yeah, so for me, I guess the highlight by default is like Fire Emblem because like they always are like a consistent quality that I enjoy. And this one's supposed to have like Marth in it or something like that. So we'll see. But yeah, Breath of the Wild was the reason to show up. Everything else was just like stuff that you could have like announced it a different time or something. Not too necessary. And a lot of it, honestly, was just a bunch of third-party games that are coming out on the Switch, which I have no interest in. So
Yeah. Yeah, I felt the same way. I felt like there was very lacking in like new stuff. It just felt like there was a lull of lackluster things. I mean, they adding golf to Switch Sports. They gave a sneak peek of the Booster Course Pass, and that's like courses from I think that's the mobile game, if I'm not mistaken. Then they were talking
no, that's
about
the Mario Kart 8 got like a whole year of new DLC. So that's the
oh,
next DLC.
okay, so I was thinking that they were bringing over maps from the mobile game, but I guess I'm
Yeah,
getting
there
that wrong.
some of them are from the mobile game, some of them are
Mhm.
from the Wii game and older stuff.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it's a bunch of old maps that they're updating for 8.
Okay, understood. And that's where I was kind of left with it. And then they had Octopath. I think that's the trailer for Traveler 2. Pikmin 4 was announced. I never was a Pikmin guy, so um yeah, it just wasn't really that much. I ain't gonna hold you. And I thought they could have done a little bit more to kind of get people excited. The Splatfest they announced there too. I know that game's doing major like incredibly well, but the signs of lack of infrastructure are showing whereby people are complaining about the disconnects and the connections, and I just was like, I kind of ruled it out at that point. I was like, I'm just not interested in experiencing on this console, and I just kept it that way. Honestly, I would really love to play Splatoon 3 and like really get into it again, but I just think it's just not there yet for me. So hopefully at some point I can give it a shot, but I'm not in the mood to pay $60 for something that I might not enjoy the experience altogether. So Xenoblade got their new wave 2 of their expansions and stuff like that they're going to be adding. Honestly, it's more of the same. So I mean, Xenoblade was I guess that it was well um, received. So hopefully that's good. But yeah, man, I thought it was pretty bad, to be honest. I thought it was just a run of the mill situation remaster for Tales of a Symphonia. Is it Symphonia? Is that
Yeah.
the okay? Tales of
It's
Symphonia.
Yeah, for me that's also kind of like a good example of the quality of the directors, because like that came out on the GameCube like exclusive, and then they remade it or re-released it like 2 years ago on PS4, and now it's just now coming out on the Switch. It's like I don't think there's anybody that has a Switch that's still waiting to play that game
Yeah.
because they already would have bought it on PS4.
Yeah, I mean, I got it on the deck, and and I'm just like, I'm fine on most of that stuff, and it runs well on there, and I just don't have an issue playing it through there. So, yeah, um, they did steal something that I was pretty like, I don't like this. So GoldenEye is getting like a remake, 4K resolution, not remake, but a remaster, and they're getting upgraded. It's not really going to be like a super remaster. It's kind of like an upgrade, but their online version is only dedicated to the Switch. I was just like, ew. I did play GoldenEye, not that much, but I played enough of it to know what it is about, and I just thought it's coming to Game Pass. I understand that it was published on Nintendo 64. But just the fact that they're like slocking the online experience to a terrible console like the Switch for online experiences. I'm not saying that the console itself is terrible, but this online experience for it is terrible. To lock it to that is kind of like, ew. So I didn't like that came out of there, but I mean, at least we know that it's being remastered. But yeah, It was just a lot of,
Yeah,
you know.
I have to check, but I think it's it's not it's partly developed in some way by Nintendo because they have
Hmm.
like the emulator for it, and so that's why they have the online going on. But yeah, I feel like that's something that could have just been available for everybody because
Yeah.
like that's kind of the point of remastering it to have
Yeah,
more people
people
play it.
play it.
Uh,
So they want you to play, only gonna let you do local co-op, local multiplayer, and not online, even though it's probably has the ability to do so. It's just that it's locked behind Sony. I mean, blocked behind Nintendo. So yeah, a bad taste in your mouth, but I don't really care, I guess, that much. It's a very old game, but if they're going to be doing like a remaster, I would like to see that, experience for everybody. But, it is what it is. At this point, they had to have some type of exclusivity of it, and maybe that's the only way that the deal got done for it to be remastered. But I thought it wasn't owned by Nintendo. I thought they just published it, but maybe they have some type of rights where they have like a little bit more of say so, supposedly. But yeah, new stuff, new Nintendo stuff, very lackluster. I mean, that's how I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't really got much else to say on it. It was a lackluster event, but we did get Zelda, and Zelda ain't lackluster. That's just what it is. It's a really cool game, and I'm really excited to actually play it. I just wish they had like a new system. I mean, that's not. I would prefer to play this game on a new system. I wouldn't. I don't like that it's becoming more expensive, but it's using the same hardware. Uh, I could see the cutbacks in the vision for the ability for it to run well. Like, this is a big world. It looks huge. And I can already see the cutbacks because of, it being huge. Like when he's in the sky, when he's diving, going back to the big world, like there's literally a world on top of a world. And I can tell that, I can tell. I mean, I can tell where they have to like get creative for it to run exceptionally on this console. I guess, what did you get from the trailer? If you've seen it, Josh or Jalen, what did you guys get from the trailer in regards to like quality of style?
um, I don't know. For me personally, it was a very short trailer, so I didn't get much out of it other than they want to emphasize like this is a continuation of the story, but it's gonna be different somehow. I never personally expected it to be different than Breath of the Wild, just Breath of the Wild with like
More.
new with a new map. Because that's always how they do their like Zelda sequels. It's like it's a similar environment or similar mechanics, but they add a lot of new story and like content and stuff like that. So yeah, I think the world is going to be the same. It is going to be on the Switch and like stuck to the Switch's performance, unfortunately. But I think it's just going to be the best that the Switch can do. They did a in my opinion, they did a pretty good job at making it run well when it came out originally, and I think they'll at least hit that target. And like you said, as long as they're smart about like loading or whatever, I don't think it should be a problem.
No,
And the world is already like big enough.
yeah, I don't think that's what I don't think that is the case. Like, stylistically, I think they can nail it based off of that. I just know that there's like peaks and valleys when you're like overseeing those big, uh, like those big large views. I can see where there's like, a strategic place fog and like strategically placed dots for like the trees and what it looks like versus actually being there and like being able to render it because of the lack of power on the system. I just like that. I love that world a lot, and I liked how cool and like open it was. But I would love to see it in like a higher resolution with better, visuals on screen. It doesn't have to be because their games aren't meant for that. but just to have like a clearer picture, it would be nice. But yeah, I mean, that was the highlight. That is why we went. That's why we checked in on this Nintendo Direct. That's why we talking about it, because honestly, if that wasn't there, there would be nothing to really talk about. GoldenEye isn't big enough. There's Bayonetta we already knew about. They put a pretty large trailer out in regards to it, but we already know how Bayonetta is going to play. We don't need to know more about details. They're trying to captivate a new audience, so they had to put out that story trailer about what was happening and where she's at now. But honestly, that's not a big draw for them. The story is never going to be a big draw for Bayonetta. You have to actually love that gameplay to actually even enjoy it. So, but yeah, I mean, that's all I got on this Nintendo Direct. Anything, final words, anything that y'all saw or thought about as we were talking through this Nintendo Direct before we move on to that state of play?
No, but like I'm glad that Zelda is coming out. Hopefully, actually hits its release date next year. Because I feel like, and a lot of people feel like it's kind of like the end of the Switch. We'll see when Nintendo actually is gonna like come out with their new hardware. But yeah, I feel like you said, it's personally, I don't have a big interest in those games, and it's kind of just the performance. It's not that I hate those games. It's just I don't want to invest in them or play them on that system that much.
Yeah. I mean, it's really holding it back. It's really holding them back creatively. So it's really hard to say on whether or not it's the right move to allow people that have the system now to continue to play, or to allow people that opportunity and just design two versions of the game, which I don't see an issue with. They did it for the first one. It was on the Wii U and the Switch. I don't see why they couldn't do a Switch Pro and a Switch version. So.
Yeah, no, I just second that. I mean, I remember thinking about like the Switch and stuff. I feel like it was like, I don't know the exact release date, but I remember I got my Switch in like 2017, and then I know Zelda was like a launch, or I think it was a launch title.
It was a launch title.
Yeah, I mean, they got that, and they got Zelda coming out in May 23. So it's like, I mean, the console hitting at least like 6 years and stuff like that. And we seen how the first one ran in a battery and all that type of stuff, how the first one taxed the battery, the resolution, all that type of stuff. So I was kind of hoping that either A, the game would have came out sooner, or B, they would have, had some new hardware or something that they was finna like come out with, and maybe had that one be like a new launch title, because the game beautiful, and it's like it's like one of the coldest games on the Switch, and I mean one of the best games that I've played personally. But
yeah,
to see that it's like limited to like the hardware to Switch, and y'all gonna make something better 6 years, and it's still on that same console that it couldn't even handle the first one that came out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, we finna see like some performance issues, whether it's resolution, frame rate, pop in, that type of stuff. But I mean, I'm still looking forward to the game and stuff like that. And I kind of got the same feelings on that Direct. I just, I ain't watched it. I just ran through the little synopsis or something, you know what I'm saying? Like on Polygon or something. So, but yeah.
I think that's the key, is just kind of giving them the space. I think what they're going to probably end up doing is it didn't look any better. Like when they showed Splatoon 3, it looks far better than Splatoon 2 did on the same console. So, and they use certain techniques and things like that to kind of get it that way. I don't see them not exploring those options on this game, because this is probably one of their biggest games, period, on like ever made. So, I would expect that stuff to kind of follow suit. So hopefully by the time launch comes around, it's looking a lot better. It's looking a lot less, like a lot better sharp edges. The world is a little bit more detailed, and they have optimized it properly to run well. And I don't expect them to not do that. This is Zelda, but at the same time, they did that on the first game, and they kind of fell short in some areas. So I'm just hoping that with the time, with the Switch and the ability to really hone its skills, that maybe it's a better experience overall. But man, hopefully by March we hearing about the Switch Pro that's gonna launch together, and I'm like, great, because then I can get rid of this one and get the new one. And I would, because it's been that long, when you kind of put it in perspective, it's been like almost 6 years. So it's been a long time. I don't think people are hurting. I know they just did that OLED, and maybe that's the secondary entry, but maybe they just don't feel like it's best to put out another one so close to that OLED coming out. But that SKU is long gone and nobody cares about now. So I need more power. So hopefully we get it. Moving on, because I didn't want to stick on that long. State of Play. The State of Play came out. I want to say, I don't remember the date now. I think it was 13th. Was it 13th? 13th. State of Play came out. Another one of those situations. Now, I was a little bit more excited about this one because of certain games. Like at least three games caught my attention. And I'm pretty sure everybody probably got the same games because it's not much that was there if you watch this whole thing through. But Tekken 8 was announced, and it looked really good. Everybody wants to flex the muscles now. They had a big one of those, those slow-mo shots on on my man's muscles, and I was just like, bro, why is that so cool right now? But it's cool, I suppose. But the game looked fun. It looked like like an upgrade. It looked like it was supposed to look like Tekken 8 is supposed to look. I just hope it's not hindered by Tekken 7 on the Xbox. I think it's stuck at like 920p or something like that. But hopefully this one is a full-fledged, updated Series X vibe type of launch. And Tekken 8, I always enjoyed Tekken since Tekken 3, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Not more than Street Fighter, of course, but I'm always excited for these fighting games, even though I don't give them much time. I enjoy to watch other people that are good at these games play, so it's cool there. So Tekken 8 was one of my highlights. If Josh or Jalen, you watched it, what was one of you guys' highlights from this State of Play? If you watched it, of course, or saw something.
Nothing. No, God of War. Honestly, nothing else there actually was that interested me. Tekken 8 looks good. I just don't personally play Tekken, and I'm not gonna play Tekken 8. So, yeah. And I actually don't remember what else was there.
Yeah, it wasn't much. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't give y'all guys a lot to work with there. I mean, already took Tekken.
It was like a Street Fighter trailer there, right?
I believe I don't believe so. No, it wasn't Street Fighter. It wasn't Street Fighter there.
It must have been like before. It
Yeah.
was separate from the event, but it was on the same day.
Yeah, something like yep. So there's a lot of stuff come out with Street Fighter 2, but nothing there. Yeah. Well, I guess anything from you, Jalen, before I move into God of War or this other thing I like.
Nah, I ain't really care nothing from the State of Play.
That's totally fine. It wasn't, like I said, you're right. There's nothing much to be missed. I enjoyed Rise of Ronin. Rise of Ronin was another one of those games where it's technically kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, but it has a little bit. It's about Team Ninja. It's an action RPG. It's coming out 2024, so we don't have it's not coming out no time soon. But it was very much so like it seemed like it was going to be a more polished experience, more traditional experience, I guess, when it comes to the Ronin. Like obviously Ghost of Tsushima was around the samurai. Ronin was a little bit different, but it's going to be around that time, and like it's going to take place
open world Neo.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to be a fun experience, hopefully. And I'm looking forward to that. But then we also got, more information about Stellar Blade, which is that Project Eve. Yeah, the fan service is all over the place in that game, but I mean that's Bayonetta too. But it looks like it's going to have some cool, at least mechanics and fighting mechanics. It looks like Devil May Cry-ish kind of gameplay. So I was looking forward to that, or at least it got on my radar a little bit more.
That's a skip for me, dog.
It might be good, Josh. You can't just drop it like that. You gotta keep at least give it an opportunity to change your mind. But yeah, it's too much. It's a lot of fan service. I ain't gonna hold you, but it's still at least looked intriguing enough. At least they had cutscenes that looked like they actually.
Yeah, the graphics are good and the combat effects and stuff look good.
Yeah, the mocap doesn't look terrible.
Nothing else doesn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, nah. The story ain't gonna be that great. I'm pretty sure, but at least they have a focus, and at least the combat looks intriguing enough, and like some of the character design was funny to me, especially the older guy, the wise old man, and stuff like that. So I want to see what it's going to be about, and that might be something that's going to continue to stay on my radar up into release. If it falls off because of lack of gameplay and just playing Bayonetta 3 and it's just being better, then so be it. But we'll see. But yeah, that Stellar Blade, which is like again that Project Eve. But outside of that, it was really God of War. Everything else was just hogwash. And then they really just made me mad because they can't. Sony cannot not make somebody mad. It's like every chance they get, they make people mad. What made me mad, and may not make most people mad, but I just hate the fact that they're literally taking the Hogwarts Legacy game and they're freaking doing their exclusive stupid quest stuff in that game. And it's the Haunted Hogsmeade's quest. It's a quest line in a game, and obviously in a game that's going to be available on multiple consoles, in systems. But they wanted something exclusive to make you incentivize you to play on their console, just like trash Marvel Avengers when they said Spider-Man was going to be only there, and then he came out and he was sorry. Hogwarts Legacy, hopefully it's not the same. It looks like this quest line is actually going to be interesting and cool to play through. So now I gotta play it on this stupid PlayStation I don't even like, and I'm just kind of annoyed because it works. And it's like, y'all do this stuff and then complain about Microsoft taking their stuff away. Like, bro, shut up, you're a hypocrite. So it really put a bad taste in my mouth. It was really annoying, and they always do something like this. So yes, if you want to play the complete experience of Hogwarts Legacy, you're going to have to play it on PlayStation. If you don't care about this quest line and it's not that big of a deal and the content's not that interesting to you, but any Hogwarts, any fan of Harry Potter probably going to want to play the whole entirety of the game and what they have to offer. So this might be a selling point for some. It's a selling point for me.
Yeah, and you're getting less of the game. It's not even like they get the DLC first, you get to play it early or something like that. No, you just don't get the best version of the game, and it's kind of like. Like you said, it works because Destiny 1, everybody played it on PlayStation because if you played it on Xbox,
weapons, yep.
It's a whole year of content that you're missing. And unfortunately, with a lot of games, nobody's going to play it after a year. They're going to play it on PlayStation when it come out and then never go back to it. So, I don't know. It kind of ruins that other version of the game, like Call of Duty. Nobody's going to play Call of Duty in a year because another Call of Duty is going to be out, and they're also going to have PlayStation exclusive content, and it's annoying. Mm-hmm. Both companies do it, to be fair, but like you said, when Sony starts complaining about fairness and stuff like that, they've never cared about that before, and it's hypocritical.
It's super hypocritical, especially when, like you said, they're taking literally they're piecing the game, they're taking parts of the game out of it and keeping it for themselves. They literally did that with Marvel Avengers, and now they're doing it with Hogwarts Legacy, and it's rather annoying. But it's not all bad news coming out of the PlayStation camp, unfortunately. It's God of War Ragnarok story trailer. It won my heart again. As soon as I saw that, I said, ugh. And I saw the story trailer and I said, oh my god, these are why they the best. But God of War's Ragnarok's trailer was everything that it needed to be at this moment. It engaged the audience, it allowed people to get some mystery, and it allowed people to see truly the key moments that they all been asking for. Obviously, got Kratos fighting Thor. It showed the storyline of what we're going to be experiencing, secrets to be had, the realms we're going to be exploring, the different types of, places we're going to go, the things we're going to fight, the variety in enemies. Like, it hit everything that it was supposed to hit. They basically shut up everybody that had a problem with this game and said it's going to be DLC. It seems as if they're actually trying to provide a better experience overall, much more content and variety. Like I said, it was everything that this trailer needed to be. It hit, and it was amazing, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I was really smiling ear to ear from beginning to end. And I truly enjoy it. I'm so excited for this game now. I mean, that just threw it over the top. I was already excited because I just know this is probably going to be one of the best games this generation. And I just know that for a fact at this point. Only thing that can go wrong is they try to pull some Last of Us. If they try to pull some Naughty Dog Last of Us Part 2 stuff, and they pull a gimme on you, and you're not actually playing with Kratos the whole time, and you gotta play with somebody else. Maybe
it'd be a good time to kill Kratos in the sequel.
No, this would be a good time to kill Kratos. I just don't think they're gonna do it. I think that this is he's too big of a character right now, and I think he has plenty of range in this story to continue to go. But yes, this would be the time, and they kind of hinted at it when he was talking about Death's story. He's like, Death, he has to earn it, and all that stuff, and who's gonna be looking out for you, and blase. When Loki was talking to him, or his son was talking to him. But yeah, it was quite the showing, the God of War trailer. It was quite the showing. That was it made the whole thing worth it. I was like, Sony, don't miss, because literally it was that good. So y'all know where I sit. Where do y'all sit with this God of War trailer?
I'm excited for the DLC. Hopefully it's hopefully they offer a nice discount when I played on the PS4.
You played on the PS4? Oh,
yeah,
man.
I got to get that PS4 version. Cinematic 30 FPS. But no, it's
Pro. At least you got the Pro.
It looks good. I'm excited for it. God of War is like a weird place because the story is the strongest part, so I don't want to see all of the story. But they show some nice moments. It didn't seem like they spoiled too much or anything like that. But they show some nice moments. For me, I like the God of War. I like God of War a lot, but since I played it recent, its shortcomings I feel like are more recent in my mind, and it was just about repetitiveness and gameplay. I know they got some gameplay trailers and stuff out. It doesn't seem too different. Some improvements on what's already there. I'm just hoping that the rest of the game is, and not to say the rest of the game wasn't the same quality, but if the story was a 10, the gameplay wasn't a 10 for me in the first game, and I'm hoping that they can get both a 10 for me. But it's more of just a wait and see since it comes out pretty soon.
Yeah, pretty soon, man. Like I said, I took some time off. I said, yes, sir, I'm gonna and it falls really close to a holiday, I think. if I'm not mistaken.
It's November, right?
Yeah, it's like it's something day. Labor Day? No.
Oh, probably Labor Day. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably Labor Day. I think it's Labor Day. So yeah, I got day off in. That's plus that. Took some time, so I was like,
Labor
yes, yeah, it's Labor Day. So yeah, I'm really excited. Like for real. I mean, I couldn't be more excited for this stupid game, and yeah, I'm ready for it. I think they are doing a great job. Like obviously Jim Ryan is Jim Ryan and Sony is Sony, but you can't deny it, man. You can't deny that they make great games. You can't deny that they make a polished, a full-fledged game. You just can't deny it, but they suck.
They robbing you, but
yeah,
that money is going somewhere useful.
Yeah. It's going to that that research and development, the R&D. It's going to the AR, the talent acquisition. It's going to the right places. Like they're smart about what they do, and that's why it works. It's just that I wish their customer service was like at the level of what they try to do for their game and publishing. Like it's just not there. We all heard about the whole well, I mean before I kick that in their face too. Anything on Ragnarok, Jalen? Did you see the trailer?
No, I ain't even a fan of God of War. I never played one of the games.
Sacrilege. Look, he is not the average PlayStation customer, guys. I don't even know why he got loyalty to them people. Well, he don't. Actually.
I never said I got. Yeah, that's what
I guess he don't. He just plays Square Enix games, so it just happened to be.
You a Square Enix fan, boy?
Nah. Square Enix, man.
Who got Final Fantasy Paradise? All right.
I ain't gonna keep throwing that in my face. Who got shit?
Yeah, I got that game.
But you bought Kingdom Hearts 4 times, man. Stop playing with me.
All right.
You played Final Fantasy how many times, man? How many Final Fantasies you done played, man? I don't play them games.
Like 7 of them.
Yeah, you love that Final Fantasy. I don't. They got
coming out with 16, and I played half of them. Nice try.
Yeah. Well, first off, the older games nobody played. Nobody played until 7. Truly.
I played the older ones.
You played past 7? I thought you said you didn't.
I ain't beat them, but I played 1 and 2.
Yeah, okay.
I played a little bit of them on the iOS.
And what made you play?
I played halfway. I wanted to see what it was, but they was trash.
Exactly.
I played 4. I played 7.
Mm-hmm.
I played 10. I played 12, and I played 13 and 15.
Yeah, you played 15. I'm like, what you talking about? Don't try to leave that out. Then you play Type 0?
I mean, if you want to count spinoffs, yeah, I played some of them. But you playing whatchamacallit? Paradise, Stranger Paradise.
I know, because that one has the mechanics I enjoy in it. It's a loot based game with action.
Y'all don't let him fool y'all. He beat Final Fantasy 10. He beat 15. He playing Paradise of the Stranger.
I played Final Fantasy 10 in like 2020. I played.
Yeah, I know you. Remember you lost to the mana machine or something, and then forgot to save, and then came back and played it. He forgot. Put it down and came back. That's how much the game had to hold him. He came back and played it. Lost like 3 hours of playtime.
Yeah, all right. You still beat 15 after you went to that 2-hour dungeon and hit a pole and had to do it all over. Yeah.
Hey, I knew you was gonna pull that out. I was like, I hope you pull that card up. 'Cause I got something just for you. I'm not just. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, while we talking about legacies and loyalties to companies, yeah. So still playing God of War. It's incredible. I think it's gonna be great, and I'm going to buy it. But Sony had their Sony did some podcasts or whatever talking about VR, and they would talk about how the older games aren't going to work with the VR2. And people kind of justifying it saying, "Oh, that's common in VR headsets and things like that." And I'm just like, how is that common? Like, I've never seen the Steam's VR headsets not work with other, stuff. So I'm just kind of
Yeah,
confused on why they say it's common.
it's happened before, but to say it's common is cap, and it shouldn't be common because it's like, oh yeah, the first generation of Oculus wasn't necessarily compatible with the next generation. But like that's the problem, and that's something that they solved. That's why the Quest was popular because it could play the Rift games, it could play the Quest games, and then the Quest 2, you could play all of those games. So it's like, yeah, it's if this is your first VR headset, then and going, maybe you have issues with compatibility. But like the first one came out a generation ago, and since then, Oculus has figured it out. Valve has figured it out because like people pointed out the index or even just Steam, it supports every headset, and like you have no problems with compatibility unless your like headset is like 7 years old. So this is like, I understand it's new technology,
Mm-hmm.
but since Sony are the ones making it, they could have solved it if they wanted to, and they just didn't want to. So that's why it is what it is.
Yeah, I just think it's really stupid to now have two different headsets that work for the same system because the other ones aren't compatible with the new system headset. I just think that's strange. I thought that would be like a common thing if the console itself, because you can use the PSVR with the PlayStation 5. If you can use it with that one, what is the difference? Because the system is technically running the VR. All you're doing is pushing it to the new system. I was just like, I'm super confused on why people are like, oh, that's just common. I'm like, huh? You didn't change through the change
And
between the systems. It didn't. It was compatible, but the change on the headset is the
yeah,
problem. That's interesting.
yeah,
So
they're saying it's the controllers and stuff like that, but I'm like, even like Nintendo, like they would have compatibility with most
with them,
systems.
yeah.
Like you go from the Wii to the Wii U, and like all the old controllers are compatible, or they update the tracking on like the what was the enhanced the Wii nunchuck thing, Jalen?
The
The Wii
We
Remote
We
Plus,
remote plus.
something like that.
yeah. We
Yeah,
motion
even
plus.
with that, like supported all the old stuff, and they changed how that stuff works. I mean, it's I know it might not have been easy, but like it's a weak excuse to say like it's a different system, so they shouldn't have to do it.
Yeah. I agree, and that's why I was kind of like, I'm not giving them no bail for that. It's still a sucky situation, and plus, if I really invested in PlayStation VR and thought that that was a good thing, and that now all of these games you gave me for free, I have to hold on to this old VR system plus the new VR system just to play the newer stuff that you're providing. It just seems like a lot of
Oh
waste.
yeah, one thing I want to point out is like Resident Evil 7 could be played with like the VR, but you can also play it with the VR headset with the controller. So there should be no
Oh,
reason why you can't play that
play
on the
their
new
old
one.
games with the controller, or like
Yeah, because you have the headset on, but you're using a DualShock controller to move.
yeah. So for them to say it's incompatible with everything, that means that they just didn't even try to go through and like test. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean that's another Sony move. That's what I expected from them. They kind of are that company now. They wear the badge with honor. Honestly, they just don't care about those types of representation and their and stuff like that. They just don't they don't care about their rep when it comes to those small, minuscule things that they consider small and minuscule. But there's plenty of times where they've been caught in a lie. They've done things where they've tried to change stuff where now they're only selling the $550 bundle in the US, even though how do you have plenty of consoles for the bundle but don't have the consoles to use standalone? Like how can you have plenty of PlayStation 5s for the bundle version but no PlayStation 5s just to be on its own when literally the difference between the two is that you're adding a digital copy of a game versus not. So their tactics are trash. They are a terrible company when it comes to a lot of like their customer service, but can't deny those games. Just like Nintendo. I don't like Nintendo either, but you can't deny them games. So that's all you're gonna have to tuck it up to. And that is what it is. I don't want to spend too much time on this. So any wrap up thoughts on PlayStation and state of play, anything like that before we move on?
No. That's all for me.
All right. Well, next thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh, okay. Well, the next thing that I wanted to mention or talk about or discuss was the Tokyo Game Show. It was a lot there, so I kind of want to break it down into like stuff that was important. It's too much to talk about the whole thing. Like honestly, Tokyo Game Show was just a lot. But there was a lot of things there that was at least shown, a lot of stuff that came out that was announced, and I know Microsoft had like a showing there, but it wasn't great. So I didn't really care about it, about their little showcase. But I did care about some of the stuff that was kind of come out in like soon. And it's funny how this Wulong Fallen Dynasty, 26 minutes of PS5 demo gameplay, but we know this is coming to Game Pass. But first I wanted to start with Wulong because it was probably the more interesting thing that came out of it. Plus that is being that it's going to be on Game Pass, it's easily accessible and it's going to be coming out soon. So, Wulong Fallen Dynasty, I mean, I believe it's was it Tecmo? Is it Tecmo?
It's Team Ninja again.
Oh, it's Team Ninja again. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that was...
Yeah, they got a couple games in development.
Oh, yeah, it's from Team Ninja, known for Ninja Gaiden and stuff. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. But so this one, I don't know. It seems as if it's like a Sekiro where you have like the glowing... They have literally like the glowing indicator when you're getting somebody weak enough to kind of break their stance. And it has the stance radar. It basically is a clone of Sekiro. I don't know how good it is. But it literally has a lot of the similar mechanics where if you break their stance, they pretty much you have the ability to just kill them in one hit. A lot of the fights or the single hand fights are more intimate. It's not as if you have the ability to kill more than one person. They have the lock on system, so you want to be fighting them one on one. And I don't know if they have like a mechanic where you die and come back to life. I would hope not, but that's just like blatantly stealing. But it is that type of game. I know me, you, and Josh played Sekiro. I don't know if I'm interested in, and I just beat Sekiro. I like the boss fights were crazy. I haven't seen any boss fights for Wulong just yet, but it's basically like Neo right now with those hints of Sekiro, but then it also has this overarching like feel of Sekiro. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think of this game. I think it would be interesting to play. I think if they continue to make this same type of game, it's going to be a problem. Like, I don't want this game to feel exactly like Rise of Ronin. I'm kind of interested in seeing how they make it different, because it looks a lot similar in the flash and the style, and the aesthetic. So yeah, Team Ninja is at work, but are they at work at the wrong thing? So are they actually putting in an effort to make games interesting, or are they just copy and pasting over and over again? And that's where my concern lies. It looks smooth, it looks fluid, it looks like Neo, but is that enough? Is that enough to get people interested? Especially when it's already coming to Game Pass for it's coming into Game Pass day one, and the PlayStation 5 version will not be. So I just want to see what it looks like. I don't want this to be one of those throwaway type games because it's coming to Game Pass and it's not going to be interesting, and they copy a bunch of mechanics and it's just boring. But yeah, that's my thoughts on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot, but yeah.
No, I mean, that's fair. I feel similar with Team Ninja. I like the Ninja Gaiden games a lot, and I think that they were very, character action, and it was very difficult, but it's still very fun. And since then, like the Dark Souls games have come along, and they've kind of like changed how people think of difficulty. It's not just about the boss being super fast and you can't respond to it in time. It more patterns to like recognize and stuff like that. And Sekiro was pushing the limit, but I feel like for me, eventually it got there where I could learn the patterns comfortably and still be able to react to like a very fast paced game. With Team Ninja, I'm hoping at least that they can find that balance, because it's not just about it being hard, but I mean, it can be unfair at sometimes, but I don't know, it's a weird balance of it. It has to be difficult, fair, but still very challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's just like unbalanced and super hard, like I'm going to bounce off of it. So we'll see. I will say, like, I kind of like Sekiro because it has like a sort of fantasy element to it. I don't really like the more historical, Dynasty Warriors type stuff where this is like real history, but you're just gonna be fighting like strong people.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think they're like you said, it's gonna be on Game Pass. I might check it out, but I got iffy history Team Ninja, so
Yeah, I mean, what would they have to do, honestly, to kind of make the game worthy of our time? Like, I mean, flashiness, coolness, speed of fight, it's fine, but what is the true draw? Because I mean, there's a reason why From Software can use the same formula in a lot of different ways and still be successful, because they kind of change up the gameplay with a mechanic in the game. Like Neo was different because it had that pool system where you had to draw back health and you could not regen unless you cleansed yourself. So it was like an interesting mechanic of risk reward. Same thing with Sekiro. Same thing with Bloodborne, and where you had to literally, you have to hit people to get your health back, or you can try to, stand back in your blood vials. They didn't regenerate, and a lot of mechanics of no guarding and stuff like that. I just don't like when games blatantly copy another and they don't add an element of like different, like a different element.
yeah.
I'm trying to
For
figure out
me, if it's
who's
gonna be
gonna show
Sekiro,
that.
like if it's gonna be Sekiro, like the parrying has to be like on point, because that was what made Sekiro like the best. Because like a lot of games you can block and parry and stuff like that, but it was just it was flashy but still like easy and fluid to pull off. So that made it a good balance. Because if it was just like, no, it's super hard and you got to be perfect like Street Fighter, then like like a lot of games do that and it's not that interesting. But it has to be fun but still, like I said, challenging.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if this game is going to have that. I think it's kind of too. It's not too focused. You know how like Sekiro was really, really focused, like certain weapon. That's it. You
Oh
don't
yeah, it was
have
only
any.
one weapon.
Yeah, it's only you don't have no
Yeah.
variety, and they hone in on that. This isn't that. This has plenty of weapons, different types of weapons, the abilities and things like that. Um, I don't see them being able to hone it in to make people play in a certain way, or at least even have the same type of experience. So it has to, really focus on creating some variety elsewhere. And I think they're going to just fall heavy on the weapons and the type of style you can play. And the customization there, and I just don't find that enjoyable. Like Neo wasn't that great for me. After Neo 1, Neo 2 was just not fun. So I don't know if this is going to be another one of those, or if it's going to truly have something that really makes it fun. So that's my worry. But it was probably the better showing of a game at Tokyo Game Show, because it just had such a long presence there, and I was able to see a lot of it, and I thought that was pretty cool in that way. But yeah, we'll see. Are you interested in another Sekiro type game, Jalen?
Yeah, if they bring Sekiro, another one, I'd be signing me up. But like you said, if it's just gonna be a copy and it ain't adding nothing new to the table and stuff like that, then I mean, I at least look into it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if it's just gonna be a copy, not really bringing nothing to the table, stuff like that, then I have to reconsider it ever. So,
yeah, I just don't.
That's when I feel.
Yeah, I just don't feel like it's it has to have something, you know. I think that's really key. And right now I don't feel like it's gonna have that spark that's gonna really make it shine like that. I think it's gonna just fall. I don't want to say it's gonna be a bad game. I just don't think it's gonna be a great game. So, and I don't know. Maybe people are just. I always want to strive to be unique. But and Team Ninja had like this weird, interesting, unique formula to itself. It was just, or maybe I just never noticed that it kind of did the same thing. Maybe I just never noticed. Maybe I thought Ninja Gaiden was different, but maybe it was just a sped up version of Tenchu. I don't know, but maybe. But wasn't that Team Ninja 2 Tenchu, or was that a different one?
That was from somewhere.
Oh, that was from where?
From software. Dark Souls.
Really? Tenchu?
Yeah, because Sekiro was Tenchu, but they said they added too many mechanics that they named it something else. But it was literally Tenchu because they got the IP for it.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. But yeah, yeah, I just think maybe it was a sped up Tenchu. But yeah, I don't know. I think Ninja Gaiden had made a name for itself, and it did really well for itself. And it was like this fast paced, sword, flashy game. I just think they have to do something different. Now that Neo has come out and we have experienced it, the story wasn't like the greatest draw. It was the gameplay. Really having like a real. And here they doing the same thing where the draw is the gameplay and not the like story, and it's not like really focused. This is like all over the place. You can cosplay as anything you want to be. You don't necessarily have a specific character in that way, where he has like dedicated morals, because morals are like his morality and everything is aligned with his customs. Like I don't see that. So let's see. Hopefully it's good. Didn't want to spend that much time on Wulong, but there was some other stuff that I also saw at the Tokyo Game Show. Anything that you guys saw during the time frame that you want to jump in and discuss? I know, Jalen, you said you're going to take that lead on that Sonic Frontiers because, you know, I ain't gonna say nothing because you think I'm always talking about you, so I'm just saying, go ahead and talk about the game you enjoyed at Tokyo Game Show.
What you want to say, man? Go ahead, speak your mind. State your name. Like, nah, man, that Sonic Frontiers, like, I'm a huge Sonic fan. Like, I go way back with Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Sonic, greatest game ever. Not just playing. But I give Sonic been having his like ups and downs and stuff with Sega and all that type of stuff. I mean, really ain't heard anything good about Sonic like collectively since like Sonic Colors or whatever. But I mean, Sonic Frontiers, like my opinion, like I'm excited for it. It's a different take on Sonic. At first I'm still a little nervous, don't get me wrong, but I was a little bit more nervous because, I mean, you know, Sonic's supposed to be, you know, a Sonic Boom. Like, he real quick or whatever, but the open world just didn't catch his, like, speed, I guess. I mean, Sonic run fast, like, but the open world just didn't catch that. Um, at Tokyo Game Show, they showed another trailer. The trailer looked at a lot better. I'm not like the best. I don't have the best eyes like Deontay do because you know all the TVs and pay attention to a lot more detail and stuff than I do. Um, but he is saying there's like a lot of pop in and all this type of stuff that was going on. I mean, it's an open world game, so those things might be there, but they want to try to minimize it and stuff like that. But honestly, it kind of looked like like a fan made Sonic game. It didn't capture things, but seeing Tokyo Game Show the game, there's still some sort of confidence in me, but I'm still a little nervous about it just because it's still an open world game. But they had like I think they had a couple different environments. I'm not tripping, right?
No, they
Yeah,
had a couple
they're
of
they're
it.
different worlds you can go into.
Yeah. So they had that. You know, Sonic always got to incorporate some form of like Chaos Emeralds and like Super Sonic and stuff like that. I seen that in there. I don't know. Usually that's like in game type stuff where you do stuff within the game to go obtain Super Sonic. It looked like they kind of had that a little bit in there already. So I don't know how special Super Sonic will actually be within the game. This is just all speculation, right? But I mean, I feel like the game, like I feel like Sonic was interacting with the environment. It looked like the environment was a little bit more lively, like there's stuff going on, and it's not just like a blank canvas type world, and you just running around through grass and stuff like that. Obviously, it still got some of that look like a fan made Sonic game a little bit. Like some of it do look a little clunky in like some areas and stuff like that. Whether it was the way the camera move or switch frames or just different things like that that like draw you into the game. Like if the camera is like smooth when it look in versus just like going there and then stopping abruptly. Like so what y'all kind of get what I'm saying a little bit.
No, I get what you're saying. Like smooth animation,
Yeah.
transitions, all that.
Yeah, that stuff make the game feel a little bit more like lively versus just because some of the other Sonic games did stuff like that, and I'd be like catching that and stuff. Now that I'm like seeing other games on how they do things, but overall, I mean, like I said,
Ain't no Mario
still,
level animation.
yeah, I was about
That's
to
for
say
sure.
I would love if it had something like that because I think those little things could help out with Sonic and stuff like that. But I don't know what's wrong with Sega and what type of divide and battle they be going on there because I swear they just be in that mode like, hey, we should try this. So this a different take, so I'm cool with that. But yeah,
There are different problems that they have at Sega, but the main one is their game's always unfocused, and this like the first trailers all seem like that. Like the game is very unfocused. They have a lot of ideas that they're putting in here, like open world, but it's still fast, and you have combat and stuff like that. But at least what I can say is that even if their games are unfocused, there's generally one or two like parts of the game that are like really, really good. Like Sonic Generations, for example, like the story was terrible and the werehog levels were awful. But the daytime levels were some of my favorite in like the more recent Sonic games. And like really if they just did that, in which they kind of did more of that in what Generations. What did I say? Sonic Unleashed was the one with the bad
Sonic Unleashed,
yeah, my bad. But yeah, Generations, they came back, did a little bit more of that. I didn't like the 2D Sonic levels, so see that's like hitting 50%, like 50% I like, 50% I don't. I don't know. At least I might check it out. We'll have to see how it, as we get closer to launch. Hopefully they can win me over, but I'm at least more interested now after seeing all the positive impressions about the game.
Yeah. That's kind of how I left it too. I was like, it'd be cool for them to really have this like strong polish on it, but as long as the gameplay is fun, I truly wouldn't care. And like I said, they have the ability to go to different types of areas on the island, like this desert area. They probably gonna have the staples: desert, forest, snow, and probably some type of rainforest, something of that nature. And lava. Oh yeah,
like the lava area, kind of like
yeah.
Lava in the city area.
Yeah, like they're gonna have the staples there, which is fine as long as they do them right and like it's fun and engaging. Like I don't mind going through small dungeons like in Zelda where you have like these very cool experiences one time. Like if they have those scattered around the world, I'll be more than happy to run around and try to find those and play them. Like they don't have to be so elaborate, but they can be like fun, cool little dungeons that you go through, and maybe one of the key things is how fast you can get through them, and like maybe that unlocks something, maybe that allows you to get to a certain area. And there's plenty they can do with speed. So as long as they harness it in the right way, I'm fine with playing it. I just don't want it to be like a dud of a game where it comes out. It's obviously coming out with right alongside God of War, which I have no idea why they're doing that. But they're same day, and there's different audiences, of course, but even the audience that may wanted to have picked this up is going to be enticed to pick up God of War first. So,
yeah, even still, it's bad marketing. Like nobody's going to hear about Sonic because God of War is out.
Yeah, it's not like nobody's going to talk about it. Nobody's going to experience it in that way because who's reviewing God? Unless they get it 2 weeks earlier than God of War, who's really going to be sitting around playing this when God of War comes out? No one. No one's going to even be talking about it. They might have somebody put out a 5-minute video talking about the game, but it's not going to get the just due that it deserves because Jalen gonna be on there. Yeah, the way they did the rings.
I'm not gonna advocate for Sonic, man. That's my boy.
He said the way they did the rings this time, that that junk go up. Hopefully, it's a good review. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for games in general. I might pick it up if. I don't know. I don't know if I picked this up, to be honest. I might, though, because there's only a few Sonic games that I have played through, and most of the time I enjoy them, so I don't have a bad history with Sonic like y'all. Like, Sonic Mania was one of the ones I played, and I, really enjoyed it. But... And that wasn't really a part of Sega. They kind of came in at this bad tail end, I thought. At least that's what I heard.
Yeah, they had some third party help.
Yeah, some third party help for that one. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't play any of the other ones, so I'm interested in seeing how this do. And open world Sonic seems pretty fun to me. So, yeah. Any last thoughts on Sonic before we move on?
Yeah, make sure y'all get y'all Sonic, man. Support Sega, man. Do it for Mr. Music Knocker. Nah, just
Sega. Yeah. Tokyo Game Show had a lot of stuff, but didn't also have a lot of stuff at the same time, which is very strange. But they had a lot of Street Fighter 6 stuff where they revealed every character. It's going to be it's 18 characters, so it's going to be Ryu, Ken, Zangief, Dhalsim, or I don't know how to say his name. I think it's Dhalsim. E Honda, Blanca, Gil, Chun-Li, Cammy, which is great because that's all I care about is Cammy. Yuri, Luke, DJ, Kimberly, Jamie, Manon, Marissa, Lily, and JP. I don't know. After Yuri,
I think half of them are all new characters.
Yeah, I don't know who DJ, Kimberly, Jamie, Manon, Marissa, Lily, or JP is. But everybody at the top, I know, outside of E Honda, which I think I've heard that before. But
yeah, he's like a sumo wrestler.
Oh, okay, then yes, gotcha. I think his name's like something very strange, or German. I believe he's German. I don't know, but anyways, the roster is there. It's going to be 18 characters. First one is starting off. That's a decent list. It's not bad. I thought it was going to be like 12 or 13, to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be 18 characters. They usually always start off small, man, and they make you wait and wait. But 18 characters seem like a pretty decent
they're going to have a lot of the DLC,
Yeah. So 18 is a pretty decent size. A lot of, new faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 new faces. Which that's good. I mean, that's a good mixture of old and new. Hopefully they provide, steady updates and steady, new players. But Street Fighter 6 is gonna do what it's always done. It's gonna sell decently. It's gonna be a very big moment when it comes out. Hopefully they can just keep the momentum. I really want to see what type of hooks they trying to do to kind of get people to keep playing. Last time it was to be able to, you know, be able to unlock characters by just playing the game or using points, and they also had other things. So I want to see what the hooks are. I haven't read much on this game, to be honest, because I just know I'm buying anyway. So at that point, I just play it and kind of see what's all new. I don't have a reason to kind of look up stuff and, search things because I'm not deciding on whether or not I'm getting it. I'm just deciding on whether or not it's going to give me a hook to continue to play.
Yeah. They have their whole
Mhm.
single player element going on. I don't know if I'll get it because like I don't play fighting games that often, especially by myself. But they do have like a strong like single player or at least online element where you like create your own character, you can customize the moves, and go fight people in like the open world, and do challenges, stuff like that.
That sounds really cool.
I mean, that's cool. I like when games have extra modes like that in fighting games. Personally, though, I don't like custom characters in fighting games. It's like I'd rather just use like Cammy instead of like a Cammy clone. But it really just depends because a lot of times it's like it's very limited in what you can do, and like I don't like that. So I'd rather just have the original character. But I'm happy that at least they have that element, and that makes it more interesting to me to maybe get. Because I would have something to do other than just going online and like fight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just a hard thing to kind of I still ain't bought Guilty Stride and I've been wanting to play it, but I just know I'm more excited for these characters and the little stuff that they do sometimes to make me interested in like a fighting game is enough for me to say, yeah, I'm gonna buy it. But I would love to see what they hooks are to kind of keep people playing. I know you just kind of mentioned some of that stuff. A lot of that stuff sounded really cool, especially the customization of a character and kind of playing through them with that person. I would really like to see how that works online. But yeah, I think that's really interesting. And like I said, I don't. They're not fighting to get my dollar. They're fighting to kind of keep me playing it because once those games come out and they start to take off, and a lot of people, the pros and everything, start playing it, and like the normal general crowd dies off, they are no longer fun to play because it's just like a lot of really difficult people to fight in the online, and I don't play with nobody at home, so I just don't, and I'm not interested in continue to grind and grind to become better. So if they have a better hook for the normal and the average player, which is really hard for fighting games because that is what it is. You're fighting, you are developing yourself to be better at the game. It's nothing that you can do to make yourself better. There's no other strategy outside of head up fights. Like there's no strategy behind, oh, if I'm not good at this, I could try this. I could be a support character. There's no element of that. It's you against the other person. If you suck, you just suck and you're not going to have a good experience. So how do you get people to have a good experience and do other things and still reward them in a way that they feel like that's engaging enough to continue to try and get better? And it can't just be focused on your friends. It has to be something that they actively are doing to make the game enticing. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that may be this time around. Maybe they don't care to do that. Maybe they just care about their core audience and that's enough. But I think in most companies, they want to expand. They want to make people come in, more people come in and continue to play. So we will see. But yeah. I mean, obviously there was other stuff that happened at Tokyo Game Show, but they were very small. Like the Yakuza series, they got like 3 new games announced. Were you a big fan of the Yakuza games, Josh? Did you like them?
I played Like a Dragon, the more recent one. And I don't like their gameplay because they're kind of like beat 'em up RPGs. You can just go around doing side quests and stuff like that. That's the cool. They have really good stories though out here, and like for what I've seen of Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon, The story was really good, and it seems like they're continuing it because for 7 they had like a new character. So they're gonna bring him back, and they're gonna bring back the original character from the other games. So I think it'd be good. It's just it's not my type of game.
Gotcha. Yeah, not me either. I'm assuming Jalen. Have you ever played one of them Yakuza games?
Uh, I think I had one of them, but it was like what was it, like a remake? Like I feel like it's like Yakuza Zero or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but it was one of the games that was free with PlayStation. I played a little bit of it, but it just didn't like
Resonate.
I don't know.
Didn't catch your
Yeah,
attention. Yeah. Now that makes
I
sense.
will say that I don't remember what they said this one's gonna be, but the old games were beat 'em ups, but Yakuza 7 is a RPG. Like they literally said it's a Dragon Quest clone.
Oh.
So I think for 8 they might keep the RPG elements because people really enjoyed that of it.
Oh. Okay. Well, there was some other stuff that kind of got announced. There was this new RPG from this Chinese indie developer called The Awakener. Looked interesting enough. Like they had some cool areas. It was this one game, I forget what it's called. I think it was called like Ashfall. Looked it terrible, but a lot of people were. I mean, I think IGN might have like like one of those things where they kind of like it's like the game of the month or game of the month or something, like a highlight, because they kept talking about it and it was just getting trashed in the comment section. Like they were talking all types of stuff about it. And it was just getting, it was like it's like this is like Division if Division didn't have a budget, and it was like comments like that. And I was just like, dang man, what's going on with this game? So I looked it up and yeah, it's bad. So I don't know why it's getting so much coverage. Maybe it's one of those, like I said, I think it's one of those games where they kind of talk about it and give like exclusive
Yeah,
stuff
you said it. It's like a Chinese game. It says it's NetEase, and NetEase, I think they're like a huge like mobile game developer, so they just got a bunch of money. And I mean, it could be fun, but yeah, it does not look good from its trailers.
Nah, it looks real scratchy.
Division, on MMO, yeah,
it looks scratchy, man. So, like I said, it had a lot of stuff surrounding Tokyo Game Show, but the Tokyo Game Show itself didn't have much going on. Obviously, they were talking about how, Deathloop is coming to Game Pass and all that stuff, and it's getting like an extended ending, which is cool. And they had other stuff that they were talking about. They announced like others, like Forza Horizon update, Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear Strive is finally coming over to Xbox. I don't know if it's going into Game Pass. That would be really nice, but I don't think it's going into Game Pass. But yeah, and yeah. So that these games are finally getting a release date for the Game Pass or not Game Pass, but Xbox, and that's cool. But overall, these games have already hit their stride elsewhere, so I don't really see them taking off on Xbox. It's just nice to have, and if it goes to Game Pass, it goes to Game Pass, and that's when I'll play it. But outside of that, that's pretty much Tokyo Game Show. There was a lot of Japan-based games there. A lot of stuff that was meant to be to appease that audience, and it was stuff that I saw that I enjoyed and I thought was cool, but more so it was a lot about it was just a lot about the additional things that were being added, like the Resident Evil 7 DLC I want to play, even though I don't have Resident Evil Village anymore because I sold it. Now I gotta buy it again. Hopefully it's worth it. It looks like it's going to be worth it. And I actually followed the story in Resident Evil, so maybe I'll just watch it online, but I'd rather play it. But they had showed gameplay for that. So, yeah, that is the Tokyo Game Show. But I did want to give some time to kind of give our Fortnite expert,
Mhm.
I would call it, some time to go over the new update because that is fresh. But so Fortnite chapter 3, right? Chapter 3.
Chapter 3, season 4.
Chapter 3, season 4. Just was announced and released, and my guy Josh has some thoughts. So take it away, Josh.
Yeah. So I finished up the last season. They do like 4 or 5 seasons a year or whatever, but at the end of every chapter, like they do like their big event. This is not like the big online event like they always do. It's just like the next season to
Mm-hmm.
prepare. And the main thing is that they changed up the island. They put in some like new weapons, new battle pass, all that stuff. For this one, it's themed on like Chrome, where it's like this liquid or whatever is infecting parts of the island and turning everything into metal. Um, and kind of like I guess it looked like a metal cooler. Um, but it's interesting because like I said to Deontay earlier, I thought it was gonna be small additions because like a lot of games they don't like to like change up the meta too much with like these updates because that kind of brings a lot of backlash. Like they prefer classic gameplay and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this one they added so the Chrome can go on any building and there's items that you can get to throw it and like make Chrome. And basically what it does is the building is now that wall is indestructible or it's like
Mm-hmm.
very strong so you can't break it. But if you go up to the wall, you can walk through the wall because it's liquid metal. It's kind of like walking through a fog gate in Dark Souls. So that changes the game a lot. I don't play the building mode, but you would imagine like the building mode now people can just walk through walls. Um, the second thing it does is there are certain weapons that have chrome on them now. They're now upgradable. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
do enough damage, it upgrades to the next rarity or whatever to so you can do more damage. But the main thing is that they took a lot of ideas from Splatoon, in which you can put the chrome on yourself, and then when you sprint, you like turn into this little blob on the ground and like swim around. And you move a lot faster. You can like double jump with it. You can um, jump onto like a chrome wall and like go through the wall. And so it makes the movement like really crazy. You have a lot. It's a lot faster. You can get on top of buildings a lot easier. You're harder to hit because your hitbox is now this tiny little puddle on the ground. And it lasts like a long time, like a whole minute. And when you pick up the item, you have like 5 of them. So you can just keep doing it. And in my opinion, I feel like that changes up the game a lot. I don't know how the pros and stuff feel about it. They might be upset or something, but you know, unbalanced. It's pretty interesting, and I like that the game was able to like go like that crazy with its new mechanics. So we'll see. The season just literally started earlier today. So I don't know how it's going to be. The other thing that I'll say is that personally, I'm enjoying it because I'm like a new player and I'm not like a longtime fan. But I feel like longtime fans are so far not happy with this season, and I think it's mostly to do with like story stuff because they made uh everybody favorite girl Brie Larson, you know, Captain Marvel. She's like the main character of the battle pass. uh everything I read about this game is just people complaining about it. So um we'll see how controversial it is, but so far I think it's pretty fun. What stuff did you watch about it, Deontay?
Well, I saw that the Chrome stuff that you were talking about, which is really interesting, and I was kind of thinking, I was like, well, yeah. First, I was thinking, well, do you think they make more changes in Apex? And I was like, yes, because everybody can use this thing versus one character, and
Yeah.
it kind of does change the flow of everything versus and it touches versus like one character having a bunch of different mechanics that could impact the way you play a team, like everybody has this thing, so it's going to probably have way more impact on Fortnite than it would ever on like an Apex Legends game. But the most things that I saw, the biggest thing was the whole Chrome stuff and how you don't take damage, or it like gives you like a Chrome buff or whatever, that allows you to kind of, negate a little bit of the damage at least. I saw that they were the Splatoon splat stuff, which I don't know. Fortnite just love to copy people. But it's funny, at least, because if it's a cool mechanic, then why not? And Splatoon's like, turn into a blob, running through the walls and being able to go under and through stuff is like really, really cool. Like ever since I started playing, when I originally played, I thought it was like such a cool thing, concept wise, like go up walls with it and like get over obstacles with it and slide and, move faster. It's like, it's very simple, but it's like very satisfying to play. So,
and Splatoon still does it better because you can't shoot while you're in the Chrome mode. You got to come out of it. Where Splatoon you can kind of like dip in and out and keep shooting.
Oh yeah. It's like a whole it's like like I said, it's mechanics, like the whole thing. And I think what really allows me to kind of still have some hope for Fortnite is that they do change up their game significantly in a lot of ways that makes it engaging to play. But again, I just need them to do a really good refresh on just overall basics, animation style. I just don't like Fortnite's style right now. I just don't like how they play. Not style, sorry. The core gameplay. Like, I just don't find that loop enjoyable yet. But keep making changes. Keep doing your thing. Obviously, a lot of millions of people enjoy it right now. So you can't just try to feed the masses of one person. But I just really would love to see more of a honed experience on there. And I think they're making the right strides to at least make that a possibility in the future. It may not be the closest future, but it's a possibility in the future. And I can see that Chrome mode being used and people making Splatoon maps in there. I can definitely see that being a creator mode situation where you got Splat and you can make Splatoon games in there, which is crazy. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I don't
with that. Oh, my bad.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just finna ask. I seen a little bit of somebody playing or whatever. That Chrome mode, you might have mentioned it. But was they like turning into like a little fish thing and going through the water and stuff too?
Yes. They were literally, they stole Splatoon's little mechanic, like completely. It was like
you turn into like a blob of Chrome and swim around.
Mm-hmm. And
I didn't know what was going on. Okay.
Yeah, and I can see that concept like being utilized in like a creator mode where they create more strategically copy Splatoon in a way where it's like different and fun and I actually enjoy playing that mode and seeing how it works. Obviously it ain't gonna be no Splatoon, but it's probably gonna be fun in like a way where you could probably enjoy yourself in that mode a little bit more. So yeah.
And I'll say how they do the rollout of the season is like staggered. They haven't dropped everything yet. Because they're in the trailer, there's also like a gun that shoots Chrome, kind of like it looks like a splat gun in Splatoon, where you literally are shooting Chrome at people. So as that stuff comes out, it probably will evolve and become more strategic. But yeah, once people get like hands on it creatively, it's probably gonna be a lot more things you can do with it.
Yeah. I just hope it's I hope they continue to like I said, to change, adapt, and continue to like make the game different. I think that's a really cool way of like kind of moving to the next evolving the game slowly. But overall, yeah, I'm really satisfied with this week. Like a lot of stuff happened, so I was like really happy with all the news and everything, and hopefully we kind of got through everything and talked about everything. But we are running up on time, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But if you got to this part and you enjoyed it, I appreciate it. I appreciate you getting to this part of the episode. If you got to the end, you're the real OG. And I want to thank you for listening as always. Anything before we get up out of here, Josh or Jalen? Anything you want to remind the people of? Anything they want to look out for? Anything at all?
Man, make sure you're looking
Go
out
ahead
for
and
something.
copy your Sonic, support Sega, and go ahead and copy your Destiny characters in Fall Guys.
Oh,
They leave in like 2 days.
the Fall Guy characters leave in 2 days. What about Fortnite? They already left.
Fortnite left. Yeah, I think they might still be in Destiny.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Interesting, but yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you watching. Wherever you find this at, you can find this on YouTube at BCD Universe, but you can always find this everywhere where podcasts are hosted. Trust me, we're there. I want to thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.